Hey class, this is part 3 of percent word problems. This is all from part 2. We're going to go ahead and erase this and write our final example for percent word problems. Here we go. All right, here's example number 3. Here we go. There are 32 students in a college class. Nine of those students are women. What percent are men? There it is. That's our third example. So again, there are 32 students in a college class. 9 of those students are women. What percent are men? All right, so we've just read it again. Let's go ahead and use cubes. So, C stands for circle important numbers. So there are 32 students, it's important, in a college class. 9 of those students are women. What percent are men? All right, so we have to think about what the question is asking us, right? U stands for underline the question. What percent are what? Men. What does the 9 represent? The 9 represents what? Women, right? And so how do we figure out how many men there are? Subtract, right? We got to subtract 32 minus the number of women to get the number of men. So women, 32 minus 9, we're going to borrow from the 3, make it a 2. 12 minus 9, we get 3, bring down the 2. So we end up with 23 men, okay? 23 men. And that's our part that we know. Okay, we know the total. They gave us the total from the very beginning, right? So we actually need to use now, again, before we get to that, we know we're dealing with the percent thing because it says what percent. It's asking us for a percent, right? So we know we're going to need part over total equals percent over 100. What's that called again? What's that called? The percent proportion, right? Percent proportion or the percent equation, whatever one you want to call it. We're going to go ahead and substitute these values in real quick. Now, the question was asking us what percent are men. Part we're looking for is 23. The total, they gave it to us since the beginning, was 32. Do we know the percent? That's a tough question there. Do we know the percent? No, we don't know the percent. 100 is part of the question, part of the formula, right? Part of the percent proportion, I should say. Part of the percent proportion is 100. So now we're all set up. We got everything we need. Right? Now we just need to solve it. Solve the proportion. So make sure you have this written down. I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to put this proportion up here so that we're able to solve it, okay? All right, here we go. All right, so we're still on that problem. We're still trying to figure out what percent of the class was men, right? So we're gonna go ahead and solve this. Remember, we start with the variable always. 32 times x, we get 32x. 23 times 100 equals 2300. Right? Well, this is a one-step equation. We've been doing this. What's between 32 and x? Multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So we're going to divide both sides by what? 32. 32 divided by 32. 1. 1 times x. X equal sign comes down. Now, we need to divide this. So let's do that. 2300 is getting rained on. It wants to go inside. Let's do that. 32 on the out. 32 into 230. Wild guess. 32 times 5. 5 times 2, we get 10. Carry the 1. 3 times 5, 15 plus 1, that's 16. That's not enough, right? If we add 32, this we get 192. Let's do 32. 32 times 7. 7 times 2, that's 14. Carry my 1. 3 times 7, 21 plus 1, that's 22. So that looks good. I'm going to use 7. So 7. 32 times 7, we get 224. 230 minus 224, we're going to get 6. Bring down my 0. 32 into 60, it's going to be 1 time. So right now we have 71. 32 times 1, we get 32. Subtract 5. 10 minus 2, we get 8. 5 minus 3, we get 28. We end up with 28. Let's line up our decimals. Bring down a 0. 32 into 280. Let's try 8. 32 times 8. 2 times 8, we get 16. Carry my 1. 24 plus 1, that's 256. If we add another 32, it's going to be over 280, so we're good at 8. 32 times 8, we said 256. Borrow from the 8, make it a 7. 10 minus 6, we get 4. 7 minus 5, we get 2. Bring down another 0. We're trying to get to where we can look at this thing. 32 into 240 is like 7. 32 times 7, we get 224. Borrow from the 4, make it a 3. 10 minus 4, we get 6. 3 minus 2, we get 1. And then I'm going to erase this one because we don't need this bottom one anymore. But look, we got to bring down another 0. We're almost there. How many times will 32 go into 160? We did it up here. 32 times 5, we got 160. So it's 5 times. 32 times 5, we get 160. 160 minus 160, we get 0. So we end up with 71.875. 71.875. And so this is the percent, because we were looking for a percent in our percent equation. We were looking for the percent, so we got to add our percent symbol that of the class was men. 71.875%. Now, another way I want you to write this is because 0.875, 0.875, if we were to convert that to a fraction, the fraction we would actually get, let me move this over just a little bit, is 7/8. And I want you to know that you can actually rewrite this as x equals 71 and 7/8%. Okay, I'm just giving you that little extra bit so that you can see that these two are the same exact things. These two are the same exact thing. 71.875. If you converted this decimal, 0.75, into a fraction, you would get 7/8. Okay, you would get 7/8. And then since that's the case for that conversion, we can actually change this, the way this looks right here, 71.875. You can actually turn that into 71 and 7/8%. All right. So again, we were just trying to figure out, since there's a classroom full of 32 students, 9 of the students were women, 23 of the students were men, what percent are men? The percent was 71.875%, pretty much 72%. If you round it up to the nearest whole number, it'd be 72%, which again, if we rewrote 71.875, we would get 71 and 7/8% of the students were men. All right, thanks for watching.